Tonight's going to be a wild one, folks. Here we go. As they line up on the grid, it's going to be Eddie Baker and Tyler Robertson on the front row, Mason Neal and Matt Stewart in the second row, DJ Kenner and David Garman on the third row, Michael Whiting, Jim Johnson on the fourth row, Brandon Veers and Michael Crocker rounding out the top 10, Brian Mansfield and Drew Warren 11th and 12th. 13th is Sean Crooks. Dakota Wilson is 14th. Jordan Probst 15th. Graham Nucky is 16th. Derek Turner is 17th. Superman Norman Chan is 18th. Patrick Coluccio is 19th. Jason Holder is 20th. 21st will be Zach Bache. 22nd, Brandon McLaughlin. 23rd, Doug McLaughlin. And Spencer Brown is 24th. 25th, rounding out the field right where he wanted to be, Skylar the Paint Guy Massey. Oh, this is going to be a fun one, I can tell already. Don't forget, immediately after this, they will take the limited late models to Lakeland USA Dirt Track, and I am sure that that is going to be quite a show. David Garman won that race last week, currently the points leader. Coming into this race, after his dominant performance last week, Tyler Robertson leading the Cup Series points. 9 points behind him, Brandon McLaughlin. Then it's David Garman, 1 point back. Drew Warren, another point back from him. And DJ Kenner, 2 points back. So the leader, 9 points ahead coming into tonight. The other cars, just 4 points between the four of them. Getting ready for the pace car to roll off here around this 2-mile track. Remember, 14-degree turns, 11-degree banked straightaway, and a 3-degree very bumpy back straightaway. 20 to 25 laps on a tank of fuel. They will spread out a bit. The fuel mileage and tire wear will become a huge factor here tonight. While you're waiting for them to pace, hit the like, hit the love, hit the share, and let's cheer these guys on. Tyler Robertson, last week's dominating winner, up on the high side on the start. That could, that high line, often a lot of guys preferring to run right up by the wall. We'll see if he has the advantage starting up on the top. Remember, the other story going on tonight is, of course, the other stories, I should say, Skylar Massey starting last, just trying to survive. And Brian Mansfield starting in 11th will be starting one spot. He will have Graham Nucky right behind him. No, I'm sorry. He'll have Graham Nucky just to the left in front of him there. So Graham Nucky, after getting taken out last night, might be coming for a little revenge. Not really, but you never know. If it comes down to the win, I just about guarantee you Graham Nucky is going to move Brian Mansfield tonight. Andy and Susan Probst cheering on their favorite driver as well as the green flag drops. Here they go from Auto Club. And Eddie Baker gets a huge jump there. And they're already starting to fan out right behind the leaders. Off into turn one, we've got 2 wide, we've got 3 wide, a little further back in the pack. Jim Johnson way up high trying to find a way around here. And here they come down that bumpy back stretch. You see a lot of cars wiggling. You see them bumping up and down. Up front, Eddie Baker still leading Tyler Robertson, at least for the moment. He might get to lead the first lap and get that bonus point. Eddie Baker does lead lap number 1. The front 5 cars, single file, and from 6th on back, they are battling for every position. Patrick Coluccio already up 3 spots in the 99. Zach Bache also up 3 spots in the 127. A couple of cars starting to work their way forward. David Garman up a position. Now into the top 5. Michael Crocker has made his way up to 9th place. Brandon Veers now back to 10th. The fastest lap last time, though, Mason Neal, who's currently running in 3rd, had the fastest lap last time by. However, this lap will probably be the fastest lap of the race with the fresh tires. Once they get heated up, a couple of laps in, they get a little bit faster. Then the tire wear will start becoming an issue. You see how bumpy that back straightaway is. A little further back, Jordan Probst caught right behind Graham Nucky. Graham trying to catch up right to the back bumper of Brian Mansfield here. And a little bit of battling side by side. I think Graham forgot to open the garage door before the race. He's blinking a little bit here as Jordan trying to get underneath of him. Last time by, DJ Kenner, the fastest car on track. And DJ already up into 6th place. Why don't we take a ride around with DJ as he sets up to get around David Garman here. Got the nose just inside the quarter panel. Not enough yet. He's going to hop back into the draft as they go off into turn 1. Garmin running that really high line. DJ down towards the bottom. Most of the leaders running down to the bottom, slightly off the bottom. And you see a little bit of wiggle out of Kenner as he has to correct the car. Down the back straightaway, you see how much this track, how bumpy it is, as Kenner right on the back bumper of Garmin, just trying to get him a little loose, take the air off that spoiler, can't do it yet, comes up off of turn 4, loses a little bit of ground here, and that is a lap around Auto Club in a Cup car, and DJ did that in 40.5 seconds. These guys still flying. Right behind them, though, a lot of battling going on. Brandon Veers, Michael Crocker right there battling, as well as Dakota Wilson. Dakota looking to pick up a couple of positions here if he can get a run. Down off into turn 3. He looks to the bottom side. Looks like he might get Brandon. He's got the momentum. Will he be able to get up there and do something with Crocker now? He can't get around him. Just not enough momentum yet. Graham Nucky, Jordan Probst have lost a little bit of ground on Brian Mansfield. Further back in the field, a lot of battling going on. Back here for about 19th through 24th here. As Sean Crooks, Brandon McLaughlin, Derek Turner, Jason Holder, all right there. Getting a little side-by-side action, swapping positions quite often. Zach Bache up 4 spots already to 17th after starting in 21st. Still making his way forward as well. Back up front, Eddie Baker has managed to hold off Tyler Robertson so far here tonight. Bit of a surprise there, and we're 3 wide right behind this group. That is DJ Kenner in the middle. Michael Whiting on the high side, Stewart on the bottom. And Michael Crocker pulling right up into this this little battle going on here. Down the front stretch. Oh, a little bit of a bump out of the 4. Not sure if he actually touched Crocker. It looked like he may have. Not seeing a lot of marking on... yeah, there is a little bit of a mark there on Crocker's car as they got into each other. A little bit of door banging through the turn. And they're going to go 3 wide. Crocker dives it in there. Can't quite do anything with him yet. Crocker definitely sending it here tonight. Back up front, still mostly single file. Although the 07 of Matt Stewart running a different line down the front straightaway than Michael Whiting. Looks like he's going to get a run to the inside here. That outside line, you carry so much more momentum up off the corner, but getting down to the bottom through the corner, you can get an advantage. If you have enough of a run, you can make it stick and get the pass. Michael Scruggs telling Graham Nucky to put the kid back on the roof with the router and get things working again. Steph Baker cheering on Eric Baker here. Cody Young saying he is still wanting Graham to bring him the kangaroos. And Aaron, when you're blinking, you're blinky fast. And looks like Graham's kid has gotten back up on the roof of his house there in Australia with the router. His connection is stabilized, and he is starting to close back up on the group in front of him. He is now up into 15th, and they're getting a little bit dicey in front of him. That side-by-side definitely helps the people behind, gives them a chance to catch back up. Graham Nucky actually looking to the outside of Jordan Probst. Probst shut the door there for a moment. Brian Mansfield trying to weave his way through in these cars. You heard him say he has not driven the Cup cars very much in the last year. Michael Crocker and Brandon Veer still battling. And Crocker loses a little bit of ground here. Drew Warren's now going to get a run to the inside. Now we're going to be 3 wide. We've got a car into the wall. Crocker got into, I think that was Jordan Probst. They bumped briefly. Jordan got a little bit of the wall. He manages to hold on to it. No caution and no significant damage to that car. And they are still trying to battle this thing out 3 wide, mid-pack. This is for about 9th through about 14th, as Brandon Veers, now back up into 9th, is starting to work his way away from the field. Kevin Martin saying Graham Nucky is coming for Brian Mansfield. Indeed, now Graham Nucky is right there with Mansfield. Mansfield in the 11 on the bottom. Graham Nucky up there on the high side in the 5. Graham's got one heck of a run. He's going to drop down and be right behind Mansfield. I guarantee you he's not going to do anything early on in this race. We're only at lap 14, but I'd be willing to bet if it came down to a battle for the win, I'd be willing to bet Mansfield's going to get turned. Back up front, Tyler Robertson has finally worked his way up into the lead for the first time here tonight. As they still continue to battle, that top 5 had been single file for quite a while. Now they're really starting to fight it out up there. Let's see what happened, how Tyler finally got himself to the lead. As they came off of turn 4 just a couple of laps ago, drops down to the bottom, all the way down on the apron to carry that momentum as much as he can. Shorten the distance as well, and off into turn 1, he had the lead. Now remember, Tyler led most every lap last week, almost from the drop of the green flag. Eddie Baker now in second, and here comes Garmy up on the high side. He is now up into 3rd. In the 06 car, Garmy starting to look to the inside. He was the only one that could hang with Tyler Robertson last week. Bit of a surprise out of him, considering Kentucky is the kind of track he is not very good at. He was not very confident about tonight's race either, but here he is up in the top 3. Matt Stewart has now worked his way back into 4th. Mason Neal still trying to fight back on the inside, though. And it looks like Michael Whiting and Jim Johnson both losing a little bit of ground here. And Jordan Probst, all that battling that was happening in front of him, he managed to navigate his way through. He has picked up 6 spots and is now up to 9th and running down DJ Kenner now. Drew Warren right there in 10th. He is in this battle as well. Graham Nucky now up 5 spots to 11th place. And Brian Mansfield now behind Nucky. Brian Mansfield still in one piece, so that's a good sign. Turn 3 and 4, lap 18 in about. Oh, they're going to go 3 wide. Jordan Probst in the middle. And a little bit of bumping. They all keep. No! Oh, they both saved it. What an amazing save by Jordan Probst and DJ Kenner. Amazing driving out of both of those guys, just getting a little tap, both of them getting loose, both of them managing to save it there. Jordan Probst loses 1 position, DJ Kenner loses a position. First round of green flag pit stops has begun. Matt Stewart, Mason Neal, Jim Johnson now come to pit road. Tyler Robertson, I don't think will be stretching it as many laps this week as he did last week. We'll have to wait and see, but he stretched his fuel and tires a lot last week, made it work for him. Don't know if he'll try it as far tonight. We haven't had any cautions versus a couple last week by this point. And David Garman now trying to battle back on the outside for the lead. Trying to get 1 lap led here early in the race. As Tyler Robertson does come to pit road, Garman stays out and will assume the lead. DJ Kenner, Graham Nucky now on pit road. Michael Whiting, Eddie Baker, Tyler Robertson all on pit road. Superman Norman Chan staying out on track, as does Zach Bache. Spencer Brown also staying out. These are guys that were a little further back in the pack, were able to draft, stay out of the throttle a little bit, save a little bit of fuel. We'll see if anybody goes very many laps more. We heard as many as 25 laps, but tires, yep, here comes Garmin to pit road. The tire wear and the difference in speed showing right there as several cars on fresh tires go flying right by Superman Norman Chan. Looks like Zach Bache is going to stay out, trying to lead a lap here. He does. He is scored as the leader at the line, gets a bonus point. Graham Nucky is wanting to get some room and get a wave around. Or at least that's what Kevin Martin's telling us he is saying. All right, Zach Bache currently in the lead, but you see how much difference there is in speed right now. Zach dropping to pit road. He is going to come in and get fresh tires. Garmin coming up off of pit road now. Mason Neal currently being scored in second. As David Garmin comes out of turn 2, Mason Neal will take the lead here. If Mason Neal leads this lap, this will be his first lap led so far this season. So great job by the 49 car. And Mason Neal is scored as the leader at the line. David Garman in second. Eddie Baker is now in third. Nope, Eddie Baker's now back to fourth as Michael Whiting is passing him for third. And here comes Tyler Robertson in the 24. He's going to bring the 07 of Matt Stewart with him. Mason Neal, great pit strategy and a fast race car, now has a 1.3 second lead over David Garman. Garman has the whole top five with him. David Garman, Michael Whiting, Eddie Baker, Tyler Robertson, and Matt Stewart all right there together. "23 laps completed, or 23 laps completed, lap number 24. First round of green flag pit stops already completed. A lot quicker than what we expected." Kevin Martin cheering on Matt Stewart, who is currently running in sixth. Matt Stewart last season in the Xfinity cars, very good at hanging with the lead pack, stretching the tires and the fuel longer than anybody on more than one occasion, and making that strategy really work for him. Although he did say he tried it a couple of times and it bit him, but we'll see. He has not tried stretching it yet very much in the Cup Series so far this season, but we'll be watching that as we know he can do it. All right, everybody has completed. Let's go through the field. Mason Neal currently in first place. David Garman running in second. Michael Whiting now up into third. Tyler Robertson is in fourth, but he's got a run on Michael here. Matt Stewart currently running in fifth in the 07, but Eddie Baker to the inside looking for that position. Jim Johnson back in seventh place. Brandon Veers, after the earlier issues, now back up into eighth. Michael Crocker just a little ways behind in ninth place, and Jordan Probst now in the top 10 in 10th. Drew Warren currently running in 11th. 12th place is Dakota Wilson, under attack by the Australian Graham Nucky. Brian Mansfield safely behind Graham Nucky right now in 14th. Jason Holder running in 15th. Superman Norman Chan right there with him in 16th, and they bring Brandon McLaughlin with them in 17th. Spencer Brown in 18th. Derek Turner is 19th, and lo and behold in 20th, Skylar Massey. He is not last. He is not wrecked. He's doing a great job here tonight. And he's still in the lead lap. He expected to be several laps down by now. So great job, Skylar Massey. Patrick Coluccio in 21st. Sean Crooks currently running in 22nd. Doug McLaughlin is in 23rd. Zach Bache up front earlier in the race, now back into 24th. DJ Kenner, we saw him battling for a top 5 spot. Don't know what happened on pit road, but he is now in 25th, and he's actually being scored a lap down. Must have gotten a penalty on pit road. Right behind as Garman battling for the lead with Mason Neal, and here comes a very hungry pack. Sorry, Mason Neal out front. He is actually lapping cars. And Tyler Robertson is battling for second with David Garman. Side by side, and they're 3 wide right behind him. 4th, 5th, and 6th. You got Michael Whiting on the inside. Matt Stewart drifting up to the high side, and Eddie Baker on a mission. Right on the back bumper of Tyler Robertson there. And these boys are getting a little close and a little sketchy with 26 laps to go. They will have to make one more green flag pit stop. Should start seeing that around 15 laps to go, maybe a little sooner for some, a little later for others. Zach Beisch currently running in 24th after being much further up earlier in the race. Trying to stay with the leader and be in position if a caution comes out to get the wave around. As the battle back here continues to go on, Michael Whiting now up into second place. Mason Neal's got to be loving this. He has opened up almost a 2-second lead. Eddie Baker and David Garman still battling back here. Tyler Robertson has fallen to the back of that group now. And I'm guessing, based on the speed he had earlier in the race, that is a tire-saving move right now. He's going to come back through once these guys' tires start falling off a little bit more. A little bit of slicing and dicing. Tyler Robertson not staying back there for very long. He looks back down to the inside and gets around Matt Stewart. Has a run now trying to get around Eddie Baker. Can't quite get Matt Stewart fighting back on the outside now. Tyler slips back up in front of Matt. Will Matt try the crossover move here? No, he does not. David Garman starting to slip back. Michael Whiting gets by, and you've got Eddie Baker now looking to the inside for third. Eddie slots back in. You see just how bumpy this track really is. Keeping a close eye on Tyler right now as he starts to make his way back through the field. Up front, Mason Neal has let Zach Beisch back by, and now Zach at the tail end of the lead lap. If the caution comes out, he will stay on the lead lap. That will put DJ Kenner in the lucky dog position. And how about Skylar Massey, who did not expect, he fully expected a rage quit here tonight, still holding on to that car. All right, biggest movers of the race so far. Michael Whiting started in 7th, running currently in 2nd place. Jordan Probst started in 15th, now up to 8th, and continuously every lap picking up, or every few laps picking up another position. Great job by Jordan tonight. Graham Nucky started in 16th, up to 12th now. Brandon McLaughlin started back in 22nd, up to 16th. And Spencer Brown, who started in 24th, now up into 19th. Several cars starting to make their way forward here tonight. Kevin Martin now cheering Michael Whiting on as Michael starts making his way forward. This battle, every single lap they're swapping who is going to be at the front of this group, because now it's Eddie Baker back to the front. Eddie drifting up high, gets that high line off into turns 1 and 2. And Tyler Robertson now back on the bottom, trying to see if he can make something happen with Michael Whiting. He's got a run on Garman. Garman up on the high side, but Garman carries more momentum up off of there. 20 laps to go. Everybody can pit anytime now and go the distance from here on fuel and tires. I would imagine we start to see some very interesting strategies from here on out. Do they short pit? Do they stretch it to the limit? Jordan Probst has come to pit lane. Michael Crocker's come to pit lane. Brandon Veers have come to pit lane. Brian Mansfield on pit lane. Jason Holder now on pit lane. There you have it. We've got a small group that is short pitting. Skylar Massey on pit road. And it looks like the leader, Mason Neal, is going to come to pit road. Michael Whiting coming to pit road. And Matt Stewart, Eddie Baker, David Garman, and Tyler Robertson, all three staying out. Now, right now, Eddie Baker, his fastest lap, his last lap was exactly 1.5 seconds slower than his best lap so far this race. These guys that just stopped for tires, they're going to come out here much, much faster than what he is running. However, if he can hold on to that top spot a little while longer, he will have the long... No, he is going to come to pit road. Garmin stays out. Tyler Robertson stays out. These guys will have the freshest tires later in the run. That could come into play. All these different tire strategies definitely going to make the end of this race extremely interesting. Craig saying he loves the old Mark Martin paint scheme that the 06 of David Garmy is driving. Garmy to pit road. Tyler Robertson does stay out. Graham Nucky has also stayed out, although he just blinked. No, Graham Nucky made the call to come to pit road. Drew Warren stays out, though. Superman Norman Chan staying out. And that is Michael Crocker right there in front of him on the fresher tires. You'll be able to see the speed difference here. As Michael Crocker just kind of running away from him. Tyler Robertson now on pit road. Drew Warren coming to pit road. Superman Norman Chan not looking like he's going to make the move. Yes, he is going to come down to pit road. Had to let the 4-car by. I don't believe Spencer Brown has been to pit road yet as he assumes the lead. Mason Neal right now is going to be in second momentarily as he passes all the cars on pit lane, and he was one of the first to come to pit road. Spencer Brown looking like he might be coming to pit road. No, he is not going to come to pit road. He's going to continue to stay out. That will give him the advantage once he does come to pit road, but what kind of impact will that have on the time? Mason Neal currently first of all the cars that have pitted, only 10.5 seconds back and closing every single lap. Currently running in second, Mason Neal. Eddie Baker in third. Zach Beisch now back up to fourth. I don't believe he has been at his pit stop. No, he is not. Michael Whiting going flying by. And David Garman, Matt Stewart nose to tail there in 6th and 7th. Spencer Brown still staying out. And now the gap has closed to 8.6 seconds, so lost almost 2 seconds on that last lap. Spencer definitely hoping for a caution here. does not look like it's spread out as they're getting. No, Spencer is going to come to pit road. The lead will cycle back around to Mason Neal. That'll put Eddie Baker back into second. Michael Whiting will be third. David Garman fourth, and Matt Stewart will be in fifth place. Zach Bache still staying out there in sixth. Tyler Robertson seventh. Jordan Probst is eighth. Jim Johnson is ninth, and Dakota Wilson back in the top 10 in 10th. Mason Neal right now has a 3.7 second lead over Eddie Baker with 12 laps to go. Unless something dramatic happens, Mason Neal's got this one pretty well wrapped up. Eddie Baker, you know, is sending it as hard as he can, battling there with Michael Whiting. And they have some lap traffic to navigate through now as well. Doug McLaughlin there in the red car. Skylar Massey not far ahead. Sean Crooks as well. Zach Bache finally comes to pit road. Mason Neal, his lead has actually started to diminish a little bit, down to just 3.5 seconds. These two cars have gained about 3/10 of a second just in the last lap or so on Mason Neal. However, with 10 laps to go, will they have enough time to get back up there? Eddie Baker now in second, Michael Whiting in third. They're going to have to work together to get to the front now. And Michael Whiting is not going to work together. He's looking to the inside here. Down the back straightaway for second place. Michael Whiting has a run down on the bottom. He is going to take second place here. No, he's not. Eddie Baker's not giving up that easy. Eddie Baker carries that momentum up off the high side, having more track to work with there. And where is Tyler Robertson? He is back in sixth place, trying to run everybody down. Mason Neal opened his lead back up by 1/10 of a second, now 3.5 seconds over Michael Whiting. And right behind him, Garmy using some lap traffic to help draft back up. He's got Matt Stewart with him as well. They're trying to work their way back up, get back into this lead group battle. They are less than a second behind Michael Whiting and Eddie Baker, and closing very quickly. Lap car drops low, lets these two go by, and now they're about to be back into the fight. This has been the fight all night, these four cars. Tyler Robertson, you see him there in the back of the shot, trying to get back up into this fight as well. Mason Neal's lead has shrunk by a full second, now down to 2.7 seconds, as Michael Whiting now back into second, Eddie Baker pushing him. Craig Osborne cheering on Dakota Wilson, now back in the top 10. He is up to 9th now. Michael Crocker up into 10th now. And a quick check, Graham Nucky currently running in 12th place. Brian Mansfield, 4.25 seconds behind Nucky in 14th. So Brian may be safe tonight. Meanwhile, Mason Neal, his lead continues to shrink. Michael Whiting continues to catch up, getting a bit of a push from Eddie Baker, but now David Garman and Matt Stewart are there. Garman looking up to the high side. Garman going to the low side now. Matt Stewart sitting back here just watching, waiting for an opportunity. Garmin down to the bottom, looking for the position on Eddie Baker. Can't quite get there yet. Eddie Baker just staying in the tire tracks of Michael Whiting here. These two guys have to be working together to get close back up. They've got a 2-second gap to the leader, Mason Neal. Matt Stewart back in this picture as well. He is closed right back to the back bumper of David Garmin. Now Eric Baker looking for second on the bottom down the back straightaway. He has the advantage off into turn 3 and 4. Michael Whiting still holding him off on the high side. Matt Stewart dropping to the bottom. He's going to come give Eddie a... No, he's not. He's going to look even lower. And they're almost 3 wide as David Garmin tries to get his nose in there. Matt Stewart lurking right behind him. Garmin looks to go to the middle. Can't get there. Drops in behind Eddie Baker. Will they make it 3 wide into 3 and 4? They are still closing on Mason Neal, but it is not enough. Michael Whiting all the way up to the wall. Garmin looks for the middle. Can't find it there. Matt Stewart drops to the bottom. Tyler Robertson right back into the mix as well. Now Garmin looks to the high side. Robertson up top on Eddie Baker. Looking to get a run. He gets around Eddie. Now he's got a run on Matt Stewart. Matt Stewart trying to move down a little bit. Can't. Eddie Baker is there. Everybody goes single file through one corner to let me breathe for a moment, as now Michael Whiting goes all the way to the bottom, looking for anything he can get. Skylar Massey right in front of this group. 2 laps to go. They are going to battle it out 3 wide all the way around the track now. Tyler Robertson is closed back up on this group. He gets a run off turn 2. Huge run. Gets around Michael Whiting on the top. And now sets his sights on David Garmin. Tyler Robertson, after that last stop, was back in 8th place and has managed to make a huge run here. Lap cars dropping to the bottom. Let the leaders settle this as the white flag comes out. Mason Neal's lead down to just over, or right under a second as David Garmin closing in. Won't be enough time though. Tyler Robertson right there with Garmin. Mason Neal has lost a couple tenths of a second. Now just 8/10 of a second. Not enough. As they battle for second place, Mason Neal is going to pull off the win here at Auto Club. David Garmin comes home second. Tyler Robertson pulls off an amazing recovery for third. Michael Whiting is fourth. Eddie Baker is scored in fifth at the line. Matt Stewart sixth. Jim Johnson comes home seventh. Jordan Probst manages a great run, pulls up into eighth. Dakota Wilson is ninth, and Michael Crocker comes home 10th. Graham Nucky finishes 12th behind Brandon Veers in 11th. Superman Norman Chan is 13th. Brian Mansfield makes it home safe in 14th. 15th is Derek Turner. Then it is Brandon McLaughlin, Jason Holder, Spencer Brown, Drew Warren, and Skylar Massey rounding out the top 20. Doug McLaughlin, Sean Crooks, DJ Kenner, Zach Bache, and Patrick Coluccio rounding out the field. And Mason Neal beginning his celebration here. Let's see if we can get a word with Mason here in just a moment. If I can find Mason. And there is Mason. Let's have a word with him. Hey, Mason, this is Doug. You got me?
Yeah, just a second. Let me get my mic plugged in.
Okay.
All right. You got me, sir?
Yeah, I do. Man, were you sweating that last 5 laps?
Oh, I was just watching that gap go dropping. I'm like, man, oh, man.
That was a heck of a race. I know you started back in third. You went backwards a little bit early in the race, but what a recovery.
Yeah, thank you. It was getting aggressive there. The draft doesn't look like it does a lot here, but the draft was intense. So I was sitting behind Tyler and Eddie there on that first stint, and Matt, Michael, a couple other guys just wanted to get going, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to race them. I'm just going to let them go. And that let me get in on the pits on my own terms and my own speed. I was able to kind of get some time gained in and out of the pits, and I think that was kind of what did it for me.
Well, that definitely paid off, and you came out of that last pit stop with a 5-second lead and managed to hold on to that all the way to the end despite a hard charging group right behind you.
Yeah, they had they were coming. They had the draft together. I think I pitted a little early. I did take 2 tires on the last stop to get out and get a jump because the tire wear wasn't bad tonight, so I thought that would help me, and it did, but in the end it almost ended up costing me another couple laps. I probably would have been toast. So
Well, regardless, your first win of the season in race number 2 will definitely be a good points boost tonight. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to give a shout out to my WFO racing teammates, Eddie, Tyler, and John Wright.
All right, man. Well, congratulations, and I believe you'll be in a dirt race here in a few.
Maybe. We'll see.
All right, man. Congratulations, buddy.
Yeah, thanks, Doug.
All right, that was Mason Neal. Let's see if we can get a word with second place David Garman, and I will see we have not yet got to talk to Tyler Robertson, even after his win last week, so we'll see if we can get a word with him too. Hey, Garmy, this is Doug. You got me?
What up, Doug?
Hey, man. How many more laps did you need?
5, maybe 6.
You guys were charging hard there at the end, and I know this is the kind of track you generally struggle at, but you had a great run tonight.
Man, I picked up a little thing from Harley Barletta a couple weeks ago when it comes to these tracks, and so far it's worked for 2. So I'm going to take it and just keep running it the way I have. No, it was a fun race. Good job to, I think it was Eddie that won the race. I can't remember. Short memory span. Good job to him. Me, 3rd, 4th, and 5th guys, like, we were battling with, like, 6 to go, and that slowed us up a lot. So, I mean, if we hadn't had to that battle the way we did, we might have caught him towards the end of the race. It made it really interesting for everybody. But, coming home second, it was a good race. A lot of fun. A lot of good battles. Got scary a couple times, but it was a lot of fun. I'll take a second tonight, and, one day I'll move up to the P1 position, stop doing these second places.
Well, you definitely pick up some points tonight. Brandon McLaughlin was second in points coming in. You were third, 1 point behind. You'll pick up a huge gap. Drew Warren, DJ Kenner finished ways back. So you'll actually close in on Tyler just a little bit tonight, too.
Yeah, we'll see how all that shakes out. It's still early in the season, so I'm not really going to put anything in the points basket now. I'm just going to keep running as best I can and get as much as I can until the end of the season, and then we see where we're stacked up and where we got to finish to make it. So, thanks to Outlaw for throwing these things on. Thank you for putting the broadcast on. It's a lot of fun running with these guys. We have a blast in the chat. We have, it's just a blast all around. I have a blast.
All right, man. Well, I know we're going to see you in a dirt car here shortly at USA.
Yeah, you'll see me there. Those are my specialties. So, yeah, we'll hop over. We'll go to Lakeland, Florida, and we'll see what we can do in some limited late models and see if we can't put that back on the top spot.
All right, man. Good luck, buddy.
See you, Doug.
All right. I do believe I see. Is that Tyler Robertson that just hopped in here?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Well, first off, congratulations for last week at Kentucky. And another heck of a run here coming home third tonight.
Well, thank you about Kentucky. Guys built a great car for that one. Yeah, I got too tight behind David there. I just couldn't get around him. He had that high line figured out, and I got messed up in the pits on my first pit stop, and I had to overshot my pit, and I had to back up, so it cost me a few seconds, and then that kind of sealed the deal for me.
You came off pit road that last time in about 8th place, managed to close a huge gap and get back up there and battling with that 4 or 5 car group there for 2nd place.
Yeah, I was watching it. I was sticking about 2 seconds behind. I was watching David and Michael Whiting, and I see the gap close every now and again, and then it would pull away a little bit, and then they caught up to, I think, Eddie in a lap car, and it kind of really, bogged him down, and that was where I feel like I could kind of, make a run, and I just started following David on the high line, and I figured if I couldn't pass him, I could at least get, to third if we got around that group of cars.
Well, you definitely got to third. You're leading the points coming in tonight. I imagine you're going to still be leading after tonight with a 3rd place finish. Great way to start your season.
Yeah, man. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Well, good luck next week, bud.
Thank you.
All right, that was Tyler Robertson. Finally got to talk to him. And now we are going to switch over because here in just a moment they are going to unload. They're going to hop into Outlaw 1, fly across the country to Lakeland, Florida, and we're going to see some dirt cars at USA Dirt. Stick around. Don't go anywhere. Well, you can hit the snack bar. Bring me a snack while you're at it. We'll be back with some dirt limited late models from USA Dirt in just a moment.